Hi, my name is Miranda. This is a practice for healthy knees. So we're going to be focusing on stretching and strengthening all the muscles that affect the knees. So the front of the legs, the back of the legs, the feet, around the hips. So all of these muscles will have a really big impact on our knees if we have an imbalance anywhere. We will also be going through some sun salutes with an awareness of the knees, just to make sure that you don't fall into some common pitfalls where the knees can be put at risk. So, first of all, we're going to start off feet hip distance apart, arms by your sides. And just bring your awareness, so stand up tall. And maybe close your eyes. And just be aware, how are you standing? Are you standing on both feet evenly, or are you more on one foot than the other? Just make sure you're on both feet evenly. Are you leaning forwards, or are you leaning back? You want to get on the feet evenly, not leaning forwards, but in the middle. Make sure you're not rolling your feet out or collapsing your feet in. If you collapse your feet in, you might want to look to see, but if you roll the feet in, the knees head in. It's really not nice for the knees. It's going to aggravate and gradually wear away at cartilage. So make sure that your feet are evenly on the floor. Then we're going to do some work to strengthen the arches in the feet, because if the arches of our feet collapse, as I showed, where the foot collapses in, the arch is collapsing, the knee heads in. So working the arch of the foot, if you raise your big toes, see if you can keep the rest of your toes down and don't roll your feet out. Take the toes down. Then see if you can lift the other toes without rolling your feet in and down. Lift the big toes and down. And the other toes, you'll feel muscles in your feet working. And down. Raise the big toes. And down. And raise the other toes. And down. And then stretch out your feet. And it can help, really strangely, to stretch out your fingers too. So stretch out all the toes as much as you can. So ready, stretch. And relax. Then inhale, rotate your upper arms out. Feel how that takes the shoulders back and down. Exhale, let the arms come back in. Inhale, rotate the upper arms out. Again, feel those shoulders engaging. Exhale, back in. Inhale, rotate out. This time, take them up and come up onto your tiptoes. And exhale, arms come back down, heels come back down. I'm just going to come back on the mat a little bit so I don't get cut off. Inhale, rotate your arms, come up onto your tiptoes. Exhale, arms back down, heels back down. So again, the feet are working. Inhale, rotate the arms, come up. Exhale, arms down, heels down. Then if you come to the front of your mat, inhale, rotate your arms again, come up. Lift your breastbone, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, straightening your legs as much as they straighten. They might not go straight, it's about the stretch. Bend your legs, inhale, come back up again. Lift your breastbone, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, and again, straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees one more time, coming back up again, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. And stay here. Spread your toes. See if you can lift the arches, so lifting up like suckers in the middle of your feet. And as you do that, that helps to release the calves, engaging the front of the shins to release the calves. Look at your knees. Look to see where your knees are heading. Make sure they're pointing forwards. And then squeeze the front of your thighs to help release the back of your thighs. Draw your belly in and up, so just encouraging the back to let go. Shake your head around, make sure your neck is lovely and free. And breathe, use the breath, breathe through the nose. And use the breath, long exhales. As you exhale, you'll feel muscles letting go even more. Deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the nose. Feel those muscles releasing. Then bend your legs. Inhale, come back up. And exhale to breath. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your right leg, reach back with your right heel, make sure your left knee is above your left ankle, and exhale, bring your right knee to the floor and the front of the foot flat. Inhale, come into lunge, arms up, shoulders down, lift your breastbone. And stay here, breathing. Feel that stretch in the front of your right hip. So it should feel like a good stretch. Don't overdo it where it feels painful. Just being in a place where it feels like a satisfying stretch. Then we're going to use the buttock muscles, the glutes, to release that front of the hip even more. So inhale. Exhale, squeeze your right buttock. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze your right buttock. Inhale, relax. One more time. Exhale, squeeze that right buttock. Inhaling, relax. Exhale, hands to the floor. Again, just check that knees above your ankle. Tuck your toes under. Inhale, lift your right knee. Reach back with the heel. Exhale, bring the knee back down. Inhale, lift the knee. Reach your way with the heel. Exhale, knee to the floor. The next time you lift it, we're going to stay there. So stay. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears and your breastbone is reaching forwards. You're not looking forwards, compressing the neck, but you're looking down at the floor in front of you. Reach actively back with the right heel. That depends on your length of your arms, your length of your legs, whether your hands are flat on the floor or you're on your fingertips. Just make sure that where you are, you're comfortable. Your shoulders are away from your ears. And that you're breathing. It's very easy to hold our breath when we're concentrating. So then taking a deep breath in. And exhale, step into downward dog. And pedal your legs. Feel that lovely stretch in the legs and the feet. So you're bending one leg and straightening the other leg and reaching away with that heel. Just getting a lovely sense of stretch in the legs and in the feet. Just see how the feet are getting a lovely workout here too. And then come up onto your tiptoes, up high on your tiptoes. Exhale, heels away and down. Inhale, come up onto your tiptoes. Exhale, heels away and down. One more time, up high on the tiptoes. Exhale, heels away and down, then bend your legs and just make sure your knees are pointing forwards, directly forwards, your feet are hip distance apart. Make sure you can see the inside of your heels, because if you can't see the inside of the heels, it means your knees are turning in. Then keeping your back lovely and long, so think about tail reaching away and up, long spine, then straighten your legs as much as your legs straighten. Where your back is still long, the tail is reaching up, it's not curling under. Spread your fingers, do an outward wave with your arms, or otherwise just think about rolling your upper arms out, so the crease of the elbows face towards the front of the mat. Shake your head around, make sure your neck is lovely and free. Then inhale, come to your knees. And exhale, sink back, bottom onto your heels. On an inhale, come along the floor. Imagine you're rolling a marble along the floor as you come forwards and up into a cobra. And exhale, settle into the back bend that feels right for you. So your hands are underneath your shoulders, elbows are in, shoulders are down, breastbone is forwards, and your neck is relaxed. You're not throwing your head back. Keep a softness in your neck. Reach back with the feet, so the toes are reaching for the wall behind you and pressing down with the front of the feet into the floor. So your ankles are getting a bit of a stretch here too. Tuck your toes under, inhale. Keep your elbows in. Exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot forwards. Again, make sure your knee is above your ankle. Left foot forwards and fold. Bend your legs. Inhale, come up. Reach up and stretch. And exhale to prayer. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up. Lift your breastbone, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor and straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your left leg, reach back with the heel, again, knee above your ankle. Exhale, bring the left knee to the floor and the front of the foot flat. Inhale, come to lunge. Arms up, shoulders down, breastbone lifting. And again, breathe deeply here. Again, with an awareness of that front of the hip. Feeling the stretch, but not so much that it feels uncomfortable. Breathe. And then we're going to use the glutes again. So inhale. Exhale, squeeze your left buttock. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze. Feel how it releases there. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze that left buttock. Inhale, relax. Exhaling again, hands to the floor. Tuck your toes under that left foot. Again, make sure the knee is above your ankle. Lift your left knee, reach back with the heel. Exhale, knee to the floor. Inhale, lift your left knee, reach back with the heel. Exhale, knee back down. Inhale, lift the knee, stay here this time. So again, the hands are either flat on your fingertips, shoulders are away from your ears, breastbone is reaching forwards, neck relaxed. Reach back actively with that left heel. And breathe. And take a deep breath in here. And exhale into downward dog. And again, pedal. Again, you feel that lovely length, that stretch in the back of the legs, the workout in the feet. And again, come up onto your tiptoes. Heels away and down. Coming up onto your tiptoes. Heels away and down. One more time. And again, bend your legs, tail reaching away and up. Checking your knees. So again, pointing forwards. Check that you can see the inside of your heels and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. So it's much easier to see whether your knees are pointing forwards when the legs are bent. When they're straighter, it becomes a bit harder. Breathe. Make sure your upper arms are still rolled out. So the crease of the elbow is pointing forwards. Then inhale, come to your knees. Exhale, sink back, bottom onto your heels. Inhale along the floor, coming forwards and up into Cobra. And exhale, settle here. So stay here for a moment. Shoulders down, elbows in, breastbone reaching, neck relaxed. Again, don't throw your head back, keep it soft. Reach back with the front of the feet. Toes are reaching back and press down with the front of the feet. Tuck your toes under, inhale. And exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhale, step your left foot forwards, and again, make sure that knee is above your ankle. Pick it up and bring it further forwards if it doesn't get there. Exhale, right foot forwards, and fold. Bend your legs, inhale, come up. And exhale to prayer. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, and straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your right leg, reach back with your right heel. Again, knee above the ankle. And exhale, come into a high lunge. Arms up, shoulders down. Reach actively back with your right heel. So again, you're getting that lovely stretch in the front of your right hip. And then we're going to straighten and bend the left knee. So inhale, straighten it. See if you can keep the movement smooth and slow. Exhale, bend. Make sure it heads directly forwards. It doesn't wibble and wobble all over the place. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Stay here. Inhale. Exhale, turn your right heel in, coming into warrior two. The right heel comes in and down. Right arm back, left arm forwards. Take a moment to check. Spread your toes and raise the arches of your feet so the arches are working. Check that your left knee is pointing directly forwards to your second and third toes. It's not heading in. If the arch of the foot collapses, the knee will collapse too. So knee pointing directly forwards. Arches of the feet lifting. Shoulders down, neck relaxed. Breathe deeply here. And then bring your left arm onto your left thigh. Right hand onto your right hip. And open yourself out to the side. Take your left hip back. Draw that hip back so you're really lengthening in the waist. Inhale, take your right arm up. Exhale, over beyond your ear. Reach and stretch and lengthen. Then keeping the length inside your waist, take that right arm up and back a little. Take your left arm to the inside of your left leg. And you can use that arm to open yourself up a little bit more. And then very slowly straighten your left leg as much as it straightens, but don't let it lock. And move slowly from that point of almost straight to straight. So don't hang in that knee joint. Don't lock the knee. Far better to be micro bent rather than to have that knee locked. Breathe. Keep the arches of the feet lifting. See if you can raise those arches. How's your neck? Breathe deeply. And then bend your left leg, making sure the knee points forwards again, coming back into warrior two. Exhale, hands to the floor as your right heel turns away. Inhale. Exhale into downward dog. Take the feet a little bit further back, so you're in a longer dog. Spread your fingers, make sure your upper arms are rolled out, so an outward wave of the hands. And on an exhale, come into plank. Reach back with your heels, shoulders away from your ears. Broaden between your shoulder blades and take your breastbone forwards. Make sure you're not tipping your pelvis forwards. If you feel any pain in your back, tuck your tail under. Then come to your knees, front of the feet flat. Soften your elbows and lower into a back bend. Shoulders down, elbows in, breastbone forward. So maybe you've come up a little higher than you were before. And then come down onto your belly. Make a pillow with your hands. And when you're ready to, inhale, take your right leg up. Straight leg, reaching away with the toes. Exhale down. Inhale, take your left leg up. We're working the back of the leg. Exhale down. Inhale, right leg. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale down. We're going to do the same again in Cobra. So inhale, come up. Don't go up too high. Shoulders down, breastbone forwards. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale down. Inhale, raise your left leg just as high as feels appropriate for you. Exhale down, it's stronger. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale down, tuck your toes under, back into downward dog. Inhale, take your right leg up. We're going to stay here. Take your left heel down. Right leg high. Make sure you can see the inside of your left heel. Then bend your right leg and take your right knee up towards the ceiling. But again, make sure you can see the inside of your left heel. Make sure your heel does not turn off to the left and your knee off to the right. As long as you know that that heel is not turning off to the left, the knee is not turning off to the right, then you can look underneath your right armpit. Breathe. If you have a tendency to let that knee turn in, watch it, keep checking. So you're getting a good stretch in the legs, so helping to balance it out. Inhale, we're going to step to the outside of your right hand. Exhale, step to the outside of the hand. Inhale, step your left foot forwards. Exhale, sink down into a squat. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, inhale, come up. And exhale to prayer. Stepping your feet back to hip distance apart. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your left leg, and again, make sure your knees above your ankle. Coming up into high lunge. So again, reach back with your left heel. Shoulders down, breastbone lifting. So we're going to straighten the right leg again. Inhale, straighten. Don't let it go ping to being straight. Move it slowly. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten that leg slowly. Exhale, bend. Making sure the knee is pointing directly forwards. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Left arm back, right arm forwards, shoulders down. Spread your toes, raise the arches in your feet. And again, check that knee. It's so easy for that knee to collapse inwards. It's a big mistake lots of people make. Make those muscles work evenly, healthily. So make sure the knee is pointing directly to the second and third toes. Keep the arches of your feet lifting. Make sure you're breathing. And then bring your right arm to rest on your right thigh, the left hand onto your hip. Open yourself out to the side. Inhale, take your left arm up. And exhale, over beyond your ear. Reach and stretch. Then take that left arm up and back a bit. Make sure the shoulders away from your ear. Take your right arm to the inside of your right thigh. And that can help you to stop that knee from heading inwards. Use that arm too to open yourself out to the side. And then very slowly, again, really do it slowly, straighten your right leg. Don't let it go ping to being locked. Don't let it lock. So as straight as it goes, it doesn't matter if it doesn't go straight. Far better that it's slightly bent than it locks. So don't hang in the joint. Breathe, make those muscles work rather than hanging in your joints. Raise the arches in your feet. How's your neck? Breathe. Then bend your right leg, come back into warrior two. And exhale, take your hands to the floor as your left heel turns away. Inhaling. Exhale, step into downward dog. And again, take your feet further back into a longer dog. Spread your fingers, make sure your upper arms are rolled out. And come into plank. Reach back with your heels, shoulders away from your ears. Broaden between your shoulder blades. Breastbone forwards, neck relaxed. So don't look forwards, look down at the floor. On an inhale, come to your knees, plant the feet flat, soften your elbows, and lower into a cobra. Again, maybe it's higher than you were before, but make sure the elbows aren't out, make sure your shoulders aren't up by your ears. So elbows in, shoulders down, breastbone forwards. And then come down, make a pillow with your hands. We're going to do the same as we did last time. So inhale, left leg, reach away and up. Exhale down. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale down. Inhale, right leg. Exhale down. Hands underneath your shoulders, elbows in, shoulders away from your ears. And come into a cobra again, but again, don't come too high unless you know you can get there easily. Inhale, raise your left leg. Exhale down. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale down. Same again, both sides. Inhale, left. Exhale down. Inhale, right. Exhale down. Tap your toes under as you inhale. And exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale, take your left leg up. Take your right heel down, and again, make sure you can see the inside of your right heel. Then bend your left leg, and open that knee and that hip up towards the ceiling, the left leg, left knee. Make sure you can still see the right side of your heel. So if you have a bit of tightness here, you might have to really work hard on making sure that knee does not turn in and the heel turns out. If you're happy to, you can look underneath your armpit. Just observing. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, step that foot to the outside of your left hand. Inhale, step the right foot forward to the outside of your right hand. And exhale, sink down. Inhale here. Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, inhale, come up. Reach up, stretch. Exhale, hands to prayer. And bring your feet back to hip distance apart. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms again. Take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your right leg, and then exhale into downward dog. And come to your knees. Front of the feet flat, spread your fingers, out and over the hands, or roll your upper arms out, same thing. The crease of the elbow wants to come towards the front of the mat. And then straighten your right leg. Reach away with your right heel and make sure you're not dropping your belly, so draw your belly up towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, flatten your belly more, raise your right leg. Inhale, foot back down. Exhale, flatten your belly, raise the leg. Make sure you're not turning your foot out to the right, pointing down at the floor. And back down. Exhale, flatten your belly, raise the leg, keep it there. Push the floor away with your hands. Again, make sure those shoulders are working healthily. Make sure you're not tipping your pelvis forwards. And if you're happy to, take your left arm forwards and turn the palm to the right. And breathe. Make sure your right foot is pointing down. And then take the right foot to the floor, the hand to the floor. And take your left foot off to the left a little bit. And open up to the right. So your right hand is on your right hip. Push the floor away with your left knee and your left hand. Inhale, raise your right leg. So this time the foot's pointing forwards rather than up or down. Exhale, come down. Inhale, raise the leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, raise the leg. If you're happy to stay here, stay here. And maybe take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Keep pushing the floor away with your left knee. You'll feel that working all the way around the hip. You'll feel the muscles in the right hip working in the leg. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, foot to the floor. And take your hand over beyond your ear. And stretch. Breathe. Root down to that right foot. Reach with the hand and breathe into that side. So take your inhale all the way down to your right hip. All the way up to your armpit. And exhale fully. Inhale all the way down to that right hip. All the way up to the armpit. And a big exhale. Last inhale here. And then take the hand to the floor. Swivel the left foot back behind the knee. Tuck your toes under that left foot. Make sure your upper arms are rolled out. And come into three-legged dog. Take your left heel down. Again, make sure you can see the left heel, the inside of the heel. Right leg up higher. Inhale. Exhale, step that foot forwards. And again, knee above your ankle. Make sure it is. Left foot forwards too. And fold. Bend your legs. Inhale, come up. And exhale to prayer. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms. Take them up. Lift your breastbone, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor, and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your left leg, reach back with the heel. And exhale into downward dog. And again, come to your knees. Front of the feet flat. Spread your fingers, make sure your upper arms are rolled out again. And straighten your left leg, reach away with the heel, and draw your belly up towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, flatten your belly more, raise the leg. Again, don't turn the foot out, foot turning down to the floor. Inhale, foot to the floor. Exhale, flatten your belly, raise the leg. Inhale, foot to the floor. Exhale, flatten the belly, raise the leg, stay here. Make sure the shoulders haven't collapsed, rolled inwards. If you're happy to, take your right arm forwards and turn the palm to the left. And stay and breathe. On an exhale, hands to the floor, foot to the floor. Turn your right foot off behind you a bit to the right and open up to the left. Left hand on your left hip, shoulder away from your ear. Inhale, raise the leg. So again, the foot's pointing forwards here. Exhale down. Inhale, raise the leg. Exhale, foot down. Inhale, raise it. Stay here if you're happy to. Maybe you want to take the left arm up. Make sure neck is free. It's so easy to be feeling we've got to hold our head or it hangs down. Keep the neck in a straight line with the rest of your body. Make sure you're still breathing and not holding your breath. Push the floor away with your right knee. And bring the foot to the floor. And take your left arm over beyond your ear for the stretch. Press down with your left foot. Reach with the hand and breathe deeply through the nose. Take your inhale all the way down to your left hip, all the way up to your armpit. Exhaling fully. Inhaling down to that hip, all the way up to the armpit. Big exhale. Last inhale here. And exhale, hand to the floor. Swivel that right foot behind the knee. Tuck the toes under in that right foot. Make sure your upper arms are rolled out. And come into three-legged dog. Take your right heel down. Again, make sure you can see the inside of your right heel. Take your left leg up. Again, really feel that stretch in the legs, making sure your right knee does not turn in. So keep making sure you can see the right side of the heel, the inside. Inhale. Exhale, step your foot forwards. Again, make sure the knee is above your ankle. Right foot forwards too, and fold. Bend your legs. Inhale, come up. And exhale to pray. And then take your arms by your sides. Feet hip distance apart. Inhale, rotate your arms again. Take your arms up. And then come into chair. So chair, your tail is reaching back, as if you're trying to reach your tail towards the back of the mat. So you're not curling it under, you're not turning it up. So it's reaching long back. So it's a bit like a bent leg, downward dog. Breastbone is reaching forwards and up, shoulders are down. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Breathe. Feel those legs working. Make sure your arches of your feet are working, you're not really out or in. And then come up, arms down. We're going to do the same again, but maybe coming up on tiptoes. So inhale, rotate your arms, take your arms up. Exhale, come into chair. Again, nice long back, tail reaching back, neck relaxed. Breastbone lifting, arches of the feet engaged. Just take a few moments here. And then if you are happy to, maybe sink a little lower. And then maybe come up onto your tiptoes. Maybe sink a little lower. Maybe lift your heels a little higher. Feel those legs working. So strong quads, the front of the thighs, really help to protect the knees. Evenly strong. Stay on your tiptoes if you can. Come up. And arms down, heels down. And shake your legs out. We're going to do the same again. So feet again, hip distance apart. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, come up. Exhale, come into chair. Again, nice long back, tail reaching back, shoulders down, breastbone lifting. Maybe you can sink a little lower. Maybe you can come up onto your tiptoes. Maybe you can sink a little lower. Maybe your heels can lift a little higher. Don't collapse in the chest, breastbone still lifts. Feel those legs working and your feet, they're working too. Stay on your tiptoes, come up. Heels down, arms down. And shake your legs out. And then there's a lovely movement that feels really good after doing that. So if you take your feet a little bit wider, arms by your sides, and soften your knees, and swing from side to side. Just allow your arms to flop. This feels so good after working hard in chair. Close your eyes. Just allow this movement to feel good. And come back to center. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up. Lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs just onto your thighs. Hands to the floor, straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back to your right leg. And the left, coming into chair, into downward dog. Make sure again that your knees aren't turning in. Check that your tail is reaching away and up. Check that you can see the inside of your heels. And then come down to your knees. Keep your toes tucked under. Spread your fingers. Again, make sure your upper arms are rolled out so your shoulders are lovely and broad. And take your bottom a little bit further behind your knees. We're going to come into downward dog using the front of the legs much more than our arms and shoulders. So inhale, keep your bottom where it is. Exhale, lift your knees off the floor and let them hover just above the floor. Inhale. Exhale, lift them higher, come into downward dog. Inhale, come to your knees. And take your bottom behind your knees. Maybe you can go a little bit further than you were before. Inhale. Exhale, lift the knees off the floor. Hover. When you're ready to come into downward dog, lift them higher into downward dog. And again, come down. Maybe take them further back. Inhale. Exhale, lift the knees, keep your bottom back. Hover. Then lift the knees higher, coming into downward dog. And come back down. So the further you go back, the more you will feel the front of those thighs working. So really good for protecting those knees. Bottom further back. Just maybe your bottom is quite close to your heels now. Make sure your upper arms are rolled out. Inhale. Exhale, lift the knees so you can keep your bottom where it is. Then lift the knees higher into downward dog. And pedal. Ease out. And then come down to your knees. Front of the feet flat. So we're going to come to kneeling. So we've worked the front of those thighs, which means that they're much more likely to be able to stretch now. And if our muscles are cold, it's really hard to stretch them. So they should be nice and warm for what is quite often a big stretch, quad stretch. So coming to your knees. Just observe, your heels rather. Just observe how you are kneeling. Some people might feel a big stretch in the ankle. You might feel a stretch across the front of the thighs. Kneeling is such a natural way to sit. So you want to make sure that you continue to be able to kneel. Otherwise it puts a lot of pressure on the knees. So just observe how you are here. And then we're going to do some pelvic tilts. Inhale. Exhale, tip your pelvis back. Inhale, tip your pelvis forwards. Exhale, tip your pelvis back. So you should feel a little bit more of a stretch in front of those thighs. Inhale, tip your pelvis forwards. Keep going. Now if you feel it's painful, you might want to put something behind your knees. If you feel pain in the front of your ankles, put something underneath the ankles. So don't put up with pain. Keep tipping your pelvis backwards and forwards if you're there. Put something behind your knees if your knees are uncomfortable. Or something underneath your ankles if it's your ankles. And then if this is a really big stretch to the front of your thighs, just stay doing this. But if you're happy to, take your hands behind you, fingers pointing forwards, and pelvic tilt here too. So exhale, tip your pelvis back. Inhale, tip your pelvis forwards. Exhale, tip it back. So you'll feel that stretch in the front of the thighs when you tip the pelvis back. Inhale, forwards. Again, exhale, tip your pelvis back. This time, keep it tipped back. Observe that stretch, and this might be where you stay. Or you might come up into a back bend here. If you are, outward way with the hands, lift your breastbone, and then lead your pubic bone to come up. Coming up into a back bend. Tip your pelvis back a little bit more. Really think about lifting pubic bone up towards the ceiling. So you should be feeling a stretch in the front of the thighs as well as the back bend. Breathe. Don't hang your head back. If it feels too strong to have your head in the same line as the rest of your body, tuck your chin in. Squeeze your buttocks, see if that gives you a little bit more lift. So remember, when we engage glutes, it releases in the front of the hips. A few more deep breaths here. And come back down. Hands on the floor in front of you, out play with the hands, tuck your toes under, and come into downward dog. And pedal here. It feels good to stretch out the back of the legs, having given them a place where they've been quite compressed, folded. And then come back down to your knees. And we're going to come onto our backs. So swing around onto your back. And bring your knees in towards your chest. Hug your knees and rock from side to side. Give your back a nice massage. It's always nice after a back bend. And then we're just going to free up the hips a bit more. So circle your knees. Bring your knees in towards you. Separate them away from you and back together again. So big circles with those knees. Or just observe how those circles are. Maybe they're not so big. So if you feel a restriction in the hips here, that is going to have an impact on your knees. Remember that. Joints above and below have a big effect on our joints. So the hips and ankles will affect the knees and the arches of the feet. So just observing. And then take the circles in the other direction. So it should feel good. Only make these circles as big as feels good in your body. And then take your feet onto the floor, feet together, and open your knees out wide. So the soles of your feet come together, and you can rest your hands on your inner thighs or on the front of the hips. Both places are getting a big stretch, as well as the pelvic floor. And just observe how that feels for you. It can be nice to just rub, releasing where muscles are tight. We tend to grip with our inner thighs and the front of the hip and the pelvic floor. Again, these muscles will all have an effect on our knees when they're tight. Just observing, breathing deeply. Observing too if you have an imbalance. Is one thigh higher than the other? Or do you have both thighs letting go evenly? Because an imbalance is going to cause issues as well. So just being aware. Just trying to encourage both legs to let go evenly. Noticing if you're gripping. And then bring your knees back up. And then take your right thigh over the top of your left thigh. And bring your knees in towards your chest. And we're going to flex both the feet to protect the knees. Okay, so it engages the muscles up the side of the knees, just to make sure the knees don't twist. Because whenever we stretch our hips, the knees are vulnerable. So we're going to protect the knees by flexing the feet, pushing them over the heels. Bring your knees in towards you and catch hold of where works for you. You might catch hold of the ankles, you might catch hold around the shins, or it might be the knees. But you're bringing the knees in towards your chest and you're pushing your bottom away and down. And the more you bring your knees in towards your chest and you push your bottom away and down, you'll feel a stretch deep in your right buttock. So just observe how that feels. Don't throw your head back. Keep your chin tucked in so your back is nice and long. You're actually getting a stretch from the head right the way down to your tail here. So it's tempting to throw the neck back, the head back. So breathe deeply. Use the breath again to encourage this muscle deep in your right buttock to release. Long, deep breaths. So again, using that exhale, really feel your muscles, the body letting go. So when we exhale, we let go of emotional tension and physical tension. So use it. Inhale through the nose. Big exhale again through the nose. Feel your body releasing. You might find you get to a place where actually you're not getting a stretch anymore, so maybe bring the knees in a little bit more. Maybe push your bottom away a little bit more. Long, deep breaths. Keep the heels pushing away so you're really protecting those knees. Now there is a seated version of this, it's cow face. And I don't really like seated cow face because I think most people can't actually do this position safely sitting. If you can't get your feet all the way to the side where your bottom can sit firmly on the floor, then you are going to twist your knees, which is really not going to be nice in the knees. And let go. So this is a much safer position for people who are tighter in the hips, which is many of us if we spend a lot of time sitting. So left thigh over the right thigh, snuggle them over, bring your knees in towards your chest, and again flex both your feet to protect the knees, and then catch hold of where works for you. So again, remember, it can be the ankles if you can reach, but it might be the shins, it might be the knees, so if you've got leggings that are floppy, you can catch hold of the leggings. But again, draw your knees in towards your chest and push your bottom away and down. Again, observe that stretch deep in your left buttock. It should be a really lovely, satisfying stretch. Long, deep breaths. And another thing, just as you stay here and breathe deeply, I really wouldn't, unless you have incredibly open hips, I wouldn't go into lotus. Lotus is disastrous for most people's knees. Most people do not have that flexibility in the hips in order to get the feet to come up and rest on the thighs. So it's going to be your knees that will be taking the strain. And you'll be gradually winching away, cutting away at your cartilage in your knees. So really don't go there. For most of us. So again, maybe that muscle lets go and you can bring your knees in a little bit closer and push your bottom away a little bit more. And let go. Unwrap, hug your knees, even out, rock from side to side. And then we're going to take the feet about as wide as the mat if you have a mat, but wider than the hips if you don't. Take your hands behind your head. Clasp your hands together behind your head. And then take your knees over to the left. Just rolling off the side of the feet, knees heading off the left, and reach your way and down with your right knee. So it should be a lovely stretch in the side of your waist and the front of the hip. Lovely internal rotation of the hip, which we can lose if we're not careful, which again is one of the reasons why the knees try to do more. Flex your feet, so push away with your heels, and then take your left foot and rest it just above your right knee, and stay there. And that's only there if that feels good. It acts as a little bit of weight to encourage that thigh to head down. If it feels too much, take it off. It doesn't have to be there. So just make sure it feels good for you in the hip, the side of the waist, and the front of the hip. Maybe close your eyes and breathe deeply. Long, slow breaths. Again, using the exhales particularly, so long, deep inhale through the nose. And a long, complete exhale as you feel those muscles releasing, letting go. Staying a little bit longer, just encouraging that release. Being aware of each and every breath and how it feels. And then take your foot off, come back up, back through the middle. So keep your feet wide, and then take your knees over to the right. And reach your way and down with your left knee. So again, just observing that, how that increases that stretch a little bit more. Flex both your feet, so pushing away with both your heels, and take your right foot, and the right foot comes to rest just above your left knee. And just check that that is happy where it is. There's nothing that's saying, don't like this. If there is, take the foot off, don't be there. So just again being aware of what is happening by having that foot there. It's just creating a little bit more of that internal rotation of the thigh, a little bit more of a stretch in the front of the hip and the side of the waist. So breathe deeply, making sure your ankles are happy, your feet are happily where they are, your knees are happy, your back is happy. There's nothing niggling at you. It should feel good. Breathe deeply. So often when we have knee injuries, it's because our hips can't move as freely as they should, so our knees try to take the slack. So for example, if we're playing tennis or so many other things where we want a little bit of freedom in our hips, the knees will try and do more. It's when we can hurt our knees. But it equally means that when we are stretching our hips, it's important to be aware of the knees to make sure you don't hurt your knees when you're trying to stretch the hips. So hence we have flexed those feet, we're listening to how this feels, we're not just doing it without thinking. So again, whenever you're doing any hip stretch, just be aware of your knees. Make sure they're not trying to do what they shouldn't, they don't like to twist. Just a few more deep breaths here. Notice too, if you have an imbalance, if one side is tighter than the other. If you do, then maybe just when you're doing it on your own, without a video or not in a class, just do the tight side first, then the other side, and then come back and do the tight side again, just to help bring your body back into balance. Then bring those knees back up. Bring your knees back in towards your chest, hug your knees, and rock from side to side. Give your back a nice massage, so just a moment of evening out. And then we're going to finish off with a relaxation. So put something warm on so that you don't get cold. So maybe a jersey, a blanket, and it's really lovely if you've got an eye pillow that you can put over your eyes or have a lavender bag nearby. It's really lovely to have that too. Straighten your legs if you're happy to have your legs straight and let the feet flop out. Have your arms by your sides, a little bit away from your body, palms facing up so your shoulders release down. Just make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Make sure your back feels happy. So maybe curl your tail under a little bit if your lower back doesn't like where you are. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to your breath. Draw your breath down into your belly. Feel your belly swelling on the inhale and falling on the exhale. Observe the rise and the fall of your belly. So make sure that you are using your diaphragms. As you breathe in, the belly should rise. As you breathe out, the belly should fall. If that doesn't feel natural to you, I've got lots of videos for the breath that take you into more detail here. Become aware of the pause after each inhalation and after each exhalation. Really allow your breath to slow, to deepen. Allow your breath to become leisurely. Being aware of the pause after each inhalation and after each exhalation. Allowing those pauses to lengthen. And then bring your awareness to your right thumb. You don't need to move anything, just bring your awareness to the right thumb. Your right forefinger, third finger, fourth finger, and little finger. The palm of your hand and the back of your hand. Your wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, armpit. The right side of your waist, right hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, and sole of the foot. Top of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. Bring your awareness to your left thumb, forefinger, third finger, fourth finger, and little finger. The palm of your hand and the back of your hand. Your wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, armpit. The left side of your waist, left hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, heel, and sole of the foot. Top of the foot, big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and little toe. Bring your awareness to your belly, your chest, and your throat. Bring your awareness to your buttocks, your spine, shoulder blades, the back of your neck, the back of your head, and the top of your head, your forehead, your right eyebrow, left eyebrow, and between your eyebrows, your third eye, the center of your intuition. Bring your awareness to your right eye, left eye, right nostril, left nostril, your whole nose, your right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, your jaw, chin, lips, and tongue. Make sure your tongue is away from the roof of your mouth. Allow it to hang loose. Feel your jaw hanging loose. Feel your cheeks melting towards your ears, and your ears melting towards the floor. Feel your forehead smoothing out, tension-free. Feel your eyes releasing inside your eye sockets. All the muscles holding them there, let go. Feel even your brain inside your skull, softening, melting. Feel your whole face and head softening. Feel your shoulders releasing away from your ears and down into the floor. Feel your hips opening up like a book, releasing. Feel the whole of your body releasing into the floor, totally supported by the floor. Really feel the support of the floor, the solidity of the earth beneath you. And just take a moment to enjoy being in this moment, your mind and your body relaxed. And becoming aware again of your whole body on the floor, here, in this room that you're in, or maybe you're outside. Just becoming aware of where you are. Becoming aware of sounds around you. And allow your breath to deepen. Exhale more, so the inhale comes a little deeper. And then begin to bring some movement back to your fingers and your toes. Wriggle your fingers and toes. And turn your head from side to side, bringing movement back to your neck. And then slide your arms along the floor until they're above your head. Clasp your hands together above your head and turn the palms away from you and have a big stretch. Point your toes. Reach and stretch with the hands as you reach for the toes, and have a yawn if that feels like a good thing to do. Stretch, reach. And then push away with your heels, and again stretch, lengthen, have another yawn. Just observing that lovely length that you're creating in your body as you reach and stretch. And then bring your knees in towards your chest. Keep your eyes closed just for a little bit longer if that's okay. So bring your knees in. Hug your knees in and rock from side to side. Giving your back a nice massage. Taking a moment of gratitude to your body for what it's done, for what it does for you all the time. And then bring your feet back onto the floor. And roll over onto one side. And then use your hands, push yourself up to sitting with your eyes still closed, just for a little bit longer if you're happy to. Just come to sitting with your eyes closed, sitting up tall, shoulders down, breastbone lifting. And then bring your hands together and rub your hands together until you feel a warmth between the palms of your hands. And then if you cup your hands over your eyes, and just stay there for a moment. It's a lovely soothing place for the eyes, but also your brain. Just staying there. Maybe you can see colours. Observe what colours you can see. And then blink your eyes open into the semi-darkness behind your hands. And slide your hands down your face to prayer position. Om Shanti. Peace. Please do subscribe if you enjoy my videos. It'll help you find them again more easily and really helps me too. Thank you.